following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
And that is not an acceptable form.
Controversy erupts in McDonough County over how students show proof of where they live to vote. Hear what election officials say is allowed by law. Coming up.
Plus, as the fall season continues, are we in store for even cooler temperatures? NEWS3's Jared Streeter has more on our first weather forecast.
And NEWS3 has Decision 2018 coverage. Coming up, we will discuss the projected local turnout numbers. That's straight ahead on Live at 4.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. NEWS3 starts now.
We begin with our top story. Some college students at WIU are saying election officials are making it too difficult to vote in the county. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm Devin Brooks.
And I'm Terrence Black. We've heard from at least one student who tried to use their official online student information or STARS account as proof of residency, but was turned away because officials claimed the information could not be used to claim residency.
McDonough County Clerk Gretchen DeJane says that election worker was correct.
We used to take STARS, they'd print something off their STARS accounts. The problem with that is we got too many students that came in and said, yeah, I don't live here anymore. I moved last semester and just haven't upgraded this. So it does have to be something they received from somebody.
DeJane says voters may only use mail or a valid form of ID as proof of residency in order for them to vote.
Today is Election Day, and there will be a lot of effort to get young people to the polls. NEWS3's London Rivers has more information on the importance of youth voting.
Students and residents are welcome to vote here at Wesley United Methodist Church, located right next door to the Western Illinois University campus. With early voting up 144% compared to 2014, that's ages 18 to 29, WIU students emphasize how important voting is this election season.
My personal philosophy is if you don't vote, you don't get to complain about the outcome. So if I don't go and vote and I don't like how it turns out and I go and I complain, I didn't do anything to change that.
The future of the country lies in the hands of young people as they make up most of the active voting population.
If people don't vote, then the people that do vote get to decide. And so if you don't like how voting has been turning out in the past and you don't vote, then you've kind of just given up and accepted that things are just going to be how they are.
It is important for first-time voters to know each ballot matters.
Doesn't count, but it does count because then you got to get a majority vote. And you know, what if your one vote was the one that broke even between the sides?
Voting is open until 7 p.m. tonight, and if you are not able to get to your correct polling location, provisional ballots can be made available to you. For NEWS3, I'm London Rivers.
If you have not gotten out to the polls yet today, you can still have the chance to cast your ballot until 7 p.m. tonight.
And despite a number of organizations pushing people to vote, local election officials are not expecting a big difference in voter turnout this midterm election. New numbers released today by the Illinois Board of Elections show just more than 2,200 early votes were cast in McDonough County. County Clerk Gretchen DeJane says she expects around a 60% turnout at the polls, which she says is average for this midterm election.
If you haven't yet casted your vote, you can do so with the help of S&G Taxi Service. They are offering free rides to voting polls for community members. Today, rides are available all day, and drivers will take you back home after voting. You can find your voting precinct on news3wiu.com.
In the last piece of our election coverage before our election show tonight, the WIU Multicultural Center is inviting students and the local community out for their election night watch party. The watch party will be tonight from 8 to 10 p.m. It is a bipartisan event that is a collaboration of multiple WIU organizations. The party will include free food and activities.
Storm Team 3's Jared Streeter is tracking the weather.
That's right, Jared. What are voters seeing if they're standing in line at the polls right now or tonight?
Tonight, if they are outside around 5 p.m., we're going to see our temperature around 45 degrees. Winds, however, are still going to be a little quick at 13 miles an hour. Wind gusts may be in effect a little bit later, but as of right now, we're not seeing any more of the high winds, wind gusts. And also, we're looking at no moisture moving into the area around 5 p.m. tonight, so we're not going to have to worry about any precipitation going further towards the poles. So it's going to be windy, but it's not going to be raining. Send it back over to you guys.
All right, thanks, Jared. See you later on. Sticking with weather coverage, recent frosty temperatures could be a sign for a potentially long winter, and the Illinois Emergency Management Agency agrees. For Winter Weather Preparedness Month, IEMA is leaving tips to prepare us to stay safe and warm during the cold. When driving in bad weather conditions, motorists should keep an emergency supply kit in their car. Items include blankets, food, water, sand, and a cell phone charger. Homeowners are advised to stock emergency supplies as well in case of power outages. Items include a weather radio, flashlights, batteries, first aid, and foods. A full list of emergency supplies can be found on our website, news3wiu.com.
On the subject of being prepared, Henderson County is inviting the public to voice their opinions on where mitigation funds should be sent when preparing for possible natural hazards. The county's disaster project is currently funded through a grant by FEMA, and the area wishes to continue to be fund for an update. A meeting discussing this plan will be on Wednesday night beginning at 6 p.m. at the Henderson County Health Department.
All right, well, coming up in 2 minutes here on Live at 4, a new ingredient has been added to the list of FDA allergens. What is it and what you should know moving forward when we come back with your Health Minute.
National Broadcasting Society helps the future of broadcasting get the tools needed to succeed in an ever-growing media world. At Western Illinois University, the professional connections students bring to our chapter of NBS have opened doors to networking possibilities that students otherwise wouldn't have. The opportunities we are given as students at WIU allow us to make connections today for success tomorrow.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
I chose Western Illinois University because I could get involved right away. You're going to gain experience. I'm going to be able to just become successful right out the gate. I'll be a news reporter and eventually become a news anchor one day. I've always felt that as a strong speaker, I could be a voice for the voiceless, but as long as I continue to believe in myself, work hard, and show that I want to put my best foot forward, I think that anything is possible.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Right now, only 8 ingredients are required by law to be listed as an allergen on packaged food labels. Now, the FDA is taking a major step towards adding one more to that list, sesame.
Right. That's right, Devin. In today's Health Minute, Meredith Wood has a closer look at why a tiny seed is causing big concerns.
A small seed with potentially big health risks. The Food and Drug Administration is taking steps to require food labels to carry a warning if a product contains sesame. Currently, only 8 allergens are listed on labels: milk, fish, eggs, shellfish, peanuts, tree nuts, soybeans, and wheat. Sesame is sometimes listed as natural flavors or spices. The FDA wants to change that, saying that although sesame allergies are rare, they can be deadly. According to the agency, sesame allergies affect about 300,000 Americans. While that's a tiny percentage of the U.S. population, the FDA says it's on par with allergies to soy and fish. Sesame reactions can vary from person to person, but in some cases, they can be life-threatening. The possibility of such a severe reaction is what's prompting federal health officials to take action. The FDA says requiring a warning on labels may prevent serious allergic reactions and even deaths. The agency is still gathering information from nutritionists, allergy experts, and other health officials to get a complete understanding of the risks and impacts of changing laws. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
In honor of November being National Diabetes Awareness Month, Hy-Vee is offering a free diabetes screening to the public. Hy-Vee will test for hemoglobin A1C, which is a blood test that people with diabetes use to provide information about their average levels of blood glucose over a 2 to 3 month period. The screenings take place from November 1st through the 30th and Monday through Friday through Saturday during the times listed on your screen, which we're not able to pull up right now. But in 168 Hy-Vee stores in the parking lots, you can find the screening dates and locations when you visit our website. That's news3wiu.com.
WIU is planning to help people travel this winter with a chance for them to win a free passport. The Office of Study Abroad and Outreach at WIU is hosting an event to help people get their passports on Wednesday. The event will be held in the University Union Concourse from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and you must have a valid birth certificate and a driver's license, in order to purchase that passport. 12 people will have a chance to win a free passport after entering their names into a drawing. For more information, call the number on your screen.
Multiple campus organizations are starting conversations about ethnicity and how to get in touch with your roots. Sigma Lambda Gamma, Casa Latina, and the Western Sociology and Anthropology Club are all teaming up to hold the Journey to Discovering Our Ancestry. The goal of the event is to trigger discussion about ethnicity, cultural expression, and discovering your roots. 14 students will also have the chance to participate in an ancestry DNA test. The event takes place at 7 p.m. next Monday in the Multicultural Center.
The Macomb community is planning to honor veterans this week. Veterans Appreciation Week is November 5th through the 11th, and this year's theme is World War I commemoration, to honor the men and women who served 100 years ago. The week will begin with Kinder Mondays, where several organizations, will provide the campus with patriotic wristbands to wear to show their support. Many other events will take place through the week with various names and locations. For more information on events, contact the Veterans Resource Center at 309-298-3505.
And in world business news, the tech company Apple has lost their status as a trillion-dollar company after stocks began to fall last week. Apple, the first public American company to ever be valued at over $1 trillion, closed below the 13th digit for the first time since August. That made Apple not only a record holder in the U.S., but globally as well. They became just the second company to reach the $1 trillion evaluation behind gas giant PetroChina. Back in September, Amazon hit the $1 trillion level, but dropped below the line the following day. Apple's stock began to fall last week after the company let their investors know that holiday sales may fall short of previous forecasts.
After the break, Election Day is winding down, but Jared Streeter gives us a look at the rest of our election night weather and this weekend's forecast when we come back.
On Tuesday, November 6th, our state will be making some important decisions.
You might think it's not important,
or your vote doesn't matter.
But that's not true.
If you don't know how
or where to register, visit vote.gov.
Make your voice heard.
Create your success at Western Illinois University. Automatic scholarships and affordable education and more are all yours at Western Illinois University. Apply today at wiu.edu.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
I want to be able to stand in front of a camera and tell people the story of what the weather's going to be like that day, or be able to tell people, hey, there's something coming your way, you need to take cover, you need to watch out. And being able to stand in front of a camera and tell not only people who are directly involved but their family members as well, like, this is what's going on. It's been very important to me because, you know, being in those situations where you are relying on the news to tell you what's going on, and I like to be a part of that and helping people with that.
Welcome back and good afternoon, Macomb. Currently outside, we're seeing temperatures at 47 degrees, humidity around 63 degrees, and our winds, it has been a really windy one today. Wind at 14 miles per hour, but we've had gusts today up to 21 miles an hour today. Clicker not working currently. There we go. Average high around this time of year, 56 degrees. Average low, 35. Our record high in 1919, 79 degrees, and our record low in 1927, 18 degrees. Right now, we are looking at our map here. We have a high pressure that's kind of creating a little bit of a barrier here. So the temperatures in the southern part of our viewing area can be a little bit different, but we'll get to that in a second. We have this moisture that's going to start moving its way into our area later on this week. Right now, we're seeing clouds, and again, that high pressure system's keeping Macomb out of any clouds right now. So it's clear outside currently. Right now in Macomb, we're seeing 48 degrees. Burlington, Keokuk, 46, 49. Looking at tonight, we're going to see 30 degrees here in Macomb. In the southern part of our viewing area, we're going to see 34 degrees, 33, and 33 in Springfield as well. But in the northwest part, we're going to see 31 in Burlington. Looking at tomorrow, we're going to see 45 degrees in Macomb, 47 in Quincy, 47 in Beardstown, and 46 in Springfield as well. Looking at tomorrow night, however, Macomb, we're going to have 25 degrees. Keokuk, 28. Quincy, 28 as well. Springfield, 27 degrees. Tonight, we're going to have temperatures around 30 degrees. Winds 12 to 21 miles an hour. Tomorrow, 45 degrees. 45 degrees, winds southwest at 13 miles an hour. Looking at our 5-day forecast, Wednesday we're going to have a high of 45 degrees, low of 25. Thursday we're going to have a high of 41, low of 27 with cloudy. Friday we're going to have a chance of some flurries. I know that's everybody's favorite word. Friday is going to be a high of 39, a low of 16 degrees. Saturday, 36 degrees is a high, low of 29, and Sunday 44 degrees and a low of 26.
Flurries, but the ground's still warm though, right?
Right, but there's still a chance that we're going to get some accumulation of at least an inch.
And I would say we're still getting used to the sun setting.
Right.
Too early.
And it's just going to hit us full force with the snow right away.
I have to say, I have to shake my head at that. 16 degrees for a low?
Yeah.
That's freezing, way below freezing. But Condor, I heard that there's a victory this weekend for men's football, correct?
Western Illinois football racking up the wins, and that's what's coming up next in sports. It's that time of year when many of Western's athletes are in action. The Western Illinois football team battled Saturday with their playoff hopes on the line against the Salukis of Southern Illinois. Boy, it was a wild one, and the men and women basketball teams are in action tonight for the first time in 2018. All that and more coming up next in sports.
I started to think about doing broadcasting my freshman year. I started calling some football games for the freshman football team. My high school didn't really have a broadcasting program like some do, And so a lot of my stuff was just PA for different sports, for basketball, for volleyball. And my mom signed me up for a visit to come to Western on a Discover Western Day. And I walked through the doors of the rec center, and Buzz Hoon shook my hand and said, "Zach Stone, I've seen all your footage, I know who you are, and you belong here." And that's what really makes WIU feel like home.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
The first time I met Morris, the door flew open and I got this larger-than-life personality talking at the top of his lungs.
Hey, how you doing today?
Oh man, I totally forgot. Hold on, let me get this for you. Just had a magnetic energy. So I thought, all right, we're definitely gonna be friends.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch!
Why I love to do sports anchoring? Because, it's talking about sports. I decided to come to Western because I wanted an experience that wasn't like some other schools. I did color commentary for one volleyball game. I was terrified. I never did any broadcasting in high school, but when I was talking, it was all, staggered, and I had no idea what I was saying. And now I've done so many different games as a color commentator, play-by-play, now sports anchor. Every show and every game, it gets easier and easier, and I get more comfortable doing it. On Saturday, the Western Illinois football team traveled to Southern Illinois in a Missouri Valley football matchup. With Western Illinois still hanging on to playoff hopes, Western likely needs to win out to have any shot at playoff football. Western Illinois has not won at Saluki Stadium since the year 2000. With playoff hopes on the line, Coach Elliott and company look to get on the job done this past weekend. Southern got on the board first, a 4-yard scamper by DJ Davis, making it 7-0 early for SIU. But that didn't last long as McShane rumbles his way into the end zone, tying up the ball game for the Leathernecks. Western Illinois and SIU 7-7. Here's Sean McGuire as we continue. McGuire going deep here, finding Clint Rakovich as he finds the back of the end zone on the 14-yard reception. 14-7 Western Illinois. But the Salukis fought back. Griffin Serra nails a 42-yard field goal to limit the deficit to 4, 14-10 Western. And to close out the first half, Southern Illinois would retake the lead as Desmer rifles a pass to Jaquan Burton on a 20-yard connection. Southern Illinois would go into the break up by a score of 17-14. It was all Salukis in the third quarter. Jonathan Mixon strikes first for Southern Illinois as he finds the end zone on a 2-yard touchdown run. It wasn't long for the Salukis to add another off the turnover. Desmer finds Leonard on a 30-yard touchdown reception, 31-14 SIU. But the game was not over just yet. Sean McGuire and company weren't going down without a fight. Crosa started the comeback, drilling a 34-yard field goal, cutting the deficit to 14. The Leatherneck defense looking for that big play, and they find one after stripping the Saluki running back, giving the ball back to the Leathernecks off the turnover. Clock still ticking. Leathernecks looking to knot things up in Carbondale. McGuire drops back, and that's actually the next play. I do apologize. There's Steve McShane taking it in for the score. Here you go. McGuire dropping back to his right and finding the end zone, tying it all up at 31. Western Illinois and SIU. What a game it was. Western on the edge of their seats. The Leathernecks need a big stop. They get it, and now Sam Crosa lining up a kick. It is good with 15 seconds left. Western Illinois would end their losing streak inside Saluki Stadium and walk away with an incredible comeback, defeating Southern Illinois 34-31. Western gets the victory and improves their record to 5-4 on the season. McGuire completed 22 passes for 283 yards, and Max Norris led the Leathernecks in rushing with 91 yards on the ground. Up next for Western Illinois, a matchup with South Dakota on Saturday. And the Western Illinois men's soccer team took the field one last time over the weekend after already being knocked out of the Summit League playoffs. Senior Day at John McKenzie Alumni Field was quite special for one Leatherneck soccer legend. and that man is Drew Whalen. After not playing much due to injury, the senior came out and converted twice against Purdue Fort Wayne. The striker has started 37 games over 5 years with the purple and gold. A man with an eye for goal, Whalen has found the back of the net 22 times during his career. Director of soccer Eric Johnson praised Whalen, saying that the 2 goals from the senior gave the season a, quote, sweet ending. Finally, it is here. Both the men and women's teams are back in action. Their season kicks off tonight in 2 big matchups. First, it's the men taking on Creighton in a big matchup. The game tips off tonight on Fox Sports at 7:30 p.m. Western, coming into the season, looks for a great season. They have high hopes. In the season opener for the women, it's going to be a tough one. The Leathernecks will be hosting the number 16 Missouri Tigers tonight at 8 p.m. You can catch this game out over at Western Hall for what should be a fun season opener. In a shocking announcement made early this morning, the Chicago Blackhawks have fired head coach Joel Quenneville, who had been with the team for the last decade. Quenneville, in his time with the Chicago Blackhawks, racked up 3 Stanley Cup victories. He also is second all-time in career wins with 890 victories. Quenneville compiled those victories with the St. Louis Blues, the Colorado Avalanche, and the Chicago Blackhawks. One thing for sure, there will be many suitors calling Quenneville in the coming weeks. In a statement made to the media, Blackhawks general manager Stan Bowman explained the decision, saying he believes it is in the best interests of the Blackhawks organization. We need to maximize each and every opportunity with our playoff goals in mind, create continued growth and development through our roster at the same time. After much deliberation the last several days, with great respect to what Joel has meant to the Blackhawks, we knew we had to make a change. After the announcement, it was revealed that Jeremy Collision, the head coach of the Chicago AHL affiliate, the Rockford Ice Hogs, has been promoted to the Blackhawks' next head coach. That's sports. Stay tuned for an update on News 3 special election coverage tonight.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in the shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Nobody likes an awkward silence. You can actually use it for something good.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills, the smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That would be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Well, the polls are closing in a few hours, and we will be here to keep you up to date as the numbers come in. We'll have live coverage from Tri-States Public Radio, and we'll also be at the watch parties for Noreen Hammond and John Curtis.
Also, guests from the Political Science Department will be in the studio to talk about the 93rd District race and the Illinois governor's race. Again, that's at 8 o'clock tonight, and you can watch live on our Facebook page. And on our Facebook page, just search our handle News3 WIU.
That's right. That's tonight at 8. So we'll see you then. And Jarrett, what's it looking like the next few hours before polls close?
So the next few hours, it is going to warm up. It's going to cool down a little bit. We're going to see temperatures around 45 degrees for when the polls are open. Looking again at tomorrow, we're going to see 45 degrees as a high. And 25 degrees is a low, 41 as a high on Thursday, 27 a low on Thursday.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
All right, well, that's all for us today.
But we're online all the time.
Stay up to date with us, news3wyu.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search our handle, News3WIU. You can also search for us on YouTube and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us here at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.